Hello, hi, and welcome to the 10th Game Dev stream. Right, let's jump into it. Sorry I'm a bit late as well. I got up a bit late because I was out kind of late last night, so I was pretty tired, and then I forgot to, and then I had some audio troubles when I came on microphone, just reset which one it was, but fix that now, so we're on, we're good. Let's make some games. So where I left off last time was the shop, and we got it spawning. We got it to have it spawns in now. It'll stay for a short while, and then it leaves. But what we need to do now is we need to hang on, a sec. So what we need to do now is we need to have it basically do a small checklist, but go through a whole few things when it spawns in. So it'll spawn in. We got that. So we've done that. It will spawn in one of set locations. That's also done. The next thing we need to do is change how the shop works. So we're going to need a menu. New menu for the shop. Perks selected by the shop, not menu. And you'll have a random selection of perks to buy. Perks will increase throughout the game. So basically, save that. Why did I do that? I still need that. I was again sorry for sniffling again. I've just got a bit of another cold, like I always seem to. But yeah, so we got so we need a new menu for the shop, and we can kind of use if we go UI, we can use this one as a base because it's pretty much what we want. We just need a little bit more. Also, we need to give every perk a base cost. So if I go first person blueprints, and where is it? Skill system. I'm gonna make a duplicate of these, just as like a backup, just in case I mess anything up. So far we've got the perk name, description, thumbnail, and tiers, and now we're going to need a new variable, which this will be cost. And this will be a float. Good to go. And then we want to go to perk data table. So now every perk we need to assign a cost as a base cost. So I'm going to rename that to base cost. And the reason I'm saying base cost is because what I want it to do is I want it to start at this lower cost, and then it'll get more expensive. And for now, I'm going to change this later when I go through and balance the game. But for now, I'm just going to set everything as 100. I don't know if I could do multiple times. No, I can't. Oh, fuck. Well, time to go through all of these. And in the future, I might try and add like a rarity system. So certain ones are more likely to appear, but I'm not sure how I'll go about doing that with the way I've got it set up at the moment. That in there. 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 Nearly done. And again, I will change this properly to a different cost later. Alright, there we go. We've got all the base costs in. 100 for now. That's just a temporary cost. Now I'm hoping, and I just want to check, I shouldn't have to change anything when it comes to the basic, like, the current perk thing. So this should still, if I get, like, Fortify. Let's stop moving. Yeah, okay, so that's, the old perk stuff still works. Because the cost variable isn't used anywhere. So now I want to go into my UI area. And we're going to make a button. We're going to make another... We're going to duplicate this. And call this perk window... shop. Actually, we just call it perk shop. And basically, we need to change how a lot of this compile. Did that actually have a reference just for the perk window? Oh, it did. Can I just change that to widget? Hmm. Let's do that. Okay, that should have done it. Okay. Right, yeah, that's fine. That's good. I'll just make another one for the shop as well. Perk button shop. Then we get perk shop, perk button. And we do still want to tag it and link the button. So perk button, target, peak window. We want to replace this with nope. Got to delete these. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a messy thing, isn't it? So first things first, we've got to link all these. Get rid of all of these ones. Get that. Get that. Get that. Drag that up there. Get that. Drag that down there. Move that over there. Drag that there. Move that there. Drag that there. Plug all of this stuff in. There. We go. Now for the perk window, I have to go back here and change this to perk shop reference. Perk shop widget. You go perk shop UI, just to make it easier to find. Perk shop UI, object reference. Move that. Promote to a variable. Perk shop. I'm going to replace references with that. Can I not do that? Can you not? Perk shop. Perk selected. Though I don't even know if we need to do that as much per se. The update perk UI comes from... We've got the graph, we've got the event graph. I want to get some text for this one. Oh, and accept additional children. Okay. Fine. We'll do it in here then. We'll put it on the tooltip. We'll make a new tool. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of errors I need to fix. So, the difference between the perk UI and this one is that on the perk UI, it's the UI that kind of comes up with the size of the random perks. Whereas this one, I've linked the buttons. We're going to still get a reference to the character. Still get the data row names. We'll get the player reference. We need that for the skill sys component. That should all work fine because the player will still own the UI. Then we've got... So the randomized perk event, we basically got to duplicate and put it into the shop now. So I'm going to make a function for that. Called for random perks. Now we also need to pass through the shop, the object itself. So on event interact, I'm going to make this a sequence now, just make it easy. So sequence. And then I'll just put it down here. So that the old stuff can just stay up there. Actually, I don't need that to be a sequence, but... Just have that as old one random perk. So we need to create a widget. And with that widget, it's perk shop UI. For the owning player, we get player character. Okay, cast to... Oh, I don't even need to do that. Hang on. Really? Play reference? Get controller. Oh, I don't need... Oh, I'm dumb. I got character not... Get player controller. There we go. So we get the player controller, which we can then shove into that. Now, when you create a widget in Unreal, you then need to draw it, I think, or something along those lines. So we go first person BP. Where is it? No, I'm in the game mode, that's why. Viewport, no, event graph, begin play. And then we go down to oh yeah, because I did UI a bit differently on this. I've actually done UI in a way I've never really done it before. Just gotta remember where the blueprint for it is. In game mode? Nope. So yeah, I did a thing called BP HUD, where sorry. What this one did is it would actually create all the widgets in a list, and then you could toggle them which would do this whole thing. I just trying to remember, how did I do, how did I get this to appear? I think it's from the first person character, so. Oh, it might be from the controller. Content, first person, blueprint, player character. Yeah, okay, we did it in the controller. Which means that we can also should be able to call the event from the controller. So we get a custom event called open shop. We may not even need to do that. So go BP HUD, make a custom toggle custom event toggle shop. And then we go, we need a new... So I need to make it appear... Why is my details panel always so big now? What the fuck? So we get owning player controller. And we create... So I'm going to create widget. And this will be perk shop UI. Then we want to set promote to a variable called perk shop. And then we want to create, and we want to add it to this get, and we want to add. Plug that in. I plug that in. We just want to basically drag that over there. And then drag that up. And there we go. Now we should be fine because I believe that it will come in collapsed like it should do. So we're going to toggle perk shop UI. So we get the perk shop UI. And we should just be able to do toggle widget. That's all we should need to do. And then we go back to perk window. Because you get perk window random. When it's done, it just toggles it. Yeah, still getting it gets the reference for HUD, which we want. So we go to B shop. Again, can this details panel piss off? It's way too big. So we've got the player controller get HUD. I might actually want to cast to it just so I can HUD. Yeah, I do need to cast for that. So we want to toggle perk shop. Set input to UI only. Think they should be fine. So where's pausing handled? Focus widget. Okay, so I don't need to do that in Perkshop UI. Get rid of shop, don't need to do that. So forget the viewport and just set this to be visible. It should be intractable regardless. Yeah, I should probably get rid of those errors first. Right. So when we construct it, we're going to link the buttons up. Perk button shop. We don't need the data table structure at the moment. We don't need project settings. Ah, crap. Did I do it in the other perk button? Oh, I fucking did as well. I'm gonna get perk window. Get rid of that, get rid of that, put that there. There's gotta be, I know there's a better way of doing this, but... And then we want to go update perk UI. No, check tiers, update perk UI. Perk button. What if I did it in the HUD class? Can I do like... Because I've got randomized perks here, which has a player reference and a skill sys component reference. This doesn't have a player reference. Nah. So we get first person character. No. We want to get... Still trying to fix the perk button that I messed up. Find references. Nope, we want a set perk window. Okay, those should be working fine. Now go over to the ones I actually wanted to edit. We'll change that to perk shop UI. Compile. Promote that to a variable. Plug that in there. Get rid of that. Drag that down there. And then we've got a... God, my nose, man. Why do I always have a cold? Right. So we're going to compile that. We're going to save that. And then we're going to go... see if any references for this. So... Perk window, find references. The only one's here for perk selected. Which I'm going to disconnect anyway, because that's how we used to close it. Nah, we're just going to replace it with perk shop and we'll figure that out. So get perk shop. Perks selected. And there we go. So that should all be good. Now we need to go back to perk shop UI. So rather than doing the random perks in in the object, we need to do them somewhere else. Let's see. So all the perk windows have references to the player character. So I'm thinking of moving all of this to a function in the player character rather than in the perk window, because then what I should be able to do is I can call that function from the shop. Jesus Christ. I can call that function from the shop. And that should be good. Be right back. Right, I'm back, and I got tissues, so shouldn't be sneezing into like. Should be a bit better. Okay, so what I'm thinking is because all these UIs have access to the player character. If we were to put this whole random 4 numbers thing for the perks inside the player character, then we could feed it back into the UI. And it makes more sense to have it in the character rather than the UI, if you ask me. So I'm going to do that. So basically what we want to do is we want to go into the player character. Because again, all these UI have a reference to said character. We've got the player reference. So we will be able to get the function and get the numbers back. I want to do a function in here. Also, half of these are supposed to be in update perks. I'm going to recategorize these because these should all be in perk update. Put that there. Random perk. So we got the thing for a random perk. Because that's what the old perk button did. It would you go to the perk shop and it would call that function on the player. Update dash, perk update, update electroshock, perk update, update bullet pierce, perk update, bomb drop, perk update. That's in character now, perk update. Update drone. Guess what? It's a perk update. Update fortify, perk update. And update move and shoot, perk update. And close that. So what we'll do is we'll get variable, no variable. Create a new function called for random perks. So get rid of some of these. And it'll basically behave very similarly to how it is in not the game, I don't need that. In the current one. So it's gonna basically get what we need is we need the perk length, which we can just get from the skillsys component. Get available perks, and then we can get the length. Now we also want to decrement that because again it's gonna count because we're getting length. Arrays start at 0. But when you do a length, it just tells you how much is in there. So if you do length, it will say 1, 2, 3. When in the array, it'll be 0, 1, 2. And if you try to use that length number to get a position of the array, it's going to mess up. So then we want to... decrement. Decrement int. I'm going to promote it to a local variable, just called perk length. The reason I'm doing local is because you don't need it anywhere else other than this, so. You've got the perk length. And if it's over 0, we're going to do less than 0. Wait, how does that ever work? Hang on. If A is less than B, doesn't that need to be equal to? I mean, it must have worked, but that doesn't make sense. It shouldn't work. I'll do equal or less than. So is that less or equal to that? Do a branch, plug that in there. So if it's less than 0, if it's less or equal to 0, we're gonna need to get 4 random perks. So we get an output. Call this no perk. Compile that. And in true, we'll just say true. What was that message about? It's just Twitter, don't care. Right. So next what we do is we will... Depending on... We do 4 random numbers. Which is this whole fucking spaghetti thing. Which there's got to be a better way of doing. Get 4 unique numbers. Just make a random number in that range, add it to an array. Then create another random int and check if it's already inside the array. If not, add it. Oh, that looks so much neater. 4 random numbers. Temporary tile checker. If it contains that. Oh, I didn't think of an array. That's so much better. Because the way I've been doing it is this. So it's basically what it does is it gets the perk length. And depending on how many perks are left, if there's 2 perks, it'll do... So let's go like 4 perks. So what it'll do is it'll do perk 1, gets a random number, sets perk 2. Sets perk 2. And if it's equal to that, it will increment it. And if it goes, it will loop back around. It was a pain in the ass. But that seems like a much better way of doing it. Okay, so we want to do... So we want to do a switch on int, and the reason we're going to do this is because similar to this, depending on how many perks you have left. That don't make any. Wait, hang on a minute. So we get the player reference, we get the available perks, we get the length. And we subtract 1 to make it match the thing. But if we get the length of something that has an array of 1... Well, I just want to check this with something I know has got. So if we can get like 2 here. So we've got 1 shop. And if we go to the first person BP, no, game mode. We do a thing on begin play. Where we get all the shop locations. Length. Print. We just set that to like bright orange for now. Play another. Yeah, so it gets 1. So for the perk here, we get the available perks. Now an array starts at 0 and goes up to how many there are. So we decrement it. I don't see how this ever actually fucking worked. Oh, I see now, because when we got to 0 perks on the length... Yeah, because if there's 1 perk, we set it back to... We take away 1. Okay, but in other words, why did I ever... Why did I tell it to do a random perk there? Hang on, because I've told it to do a random perk here when there's only 1 fucking perk. Whatever. So what we really want to do is... we want to get the perk shop. So do switch on int. So this will be when we have 1 perk left. One perk. Which is why we did less than 0. Right, okay. That does actually make sense now. If it's less than 0, we go to no perk. Got it. So we get perk length, we do print. So this will be 2 perks, this will be 3 perks, and this will be everything else. So the way they've done it in their one is they basically got a random number array and an integer. And got a random number array, did an integer. They also did a temporary check. So I want to change this to an array. Which isn't there, it's over there. So what we do is we set the temporary check with this random in range. So we get random in range. Random integer in range. And we go that to the perk length. I believe. Yep. And we do that. And basically we want to set this, which we then check against the array. Get random number array. So we want to check if it contains that, and if it doesn't, if it does, we want to set it back to here. Can also actually just do this, so set array target size, get an integer, and just set this as a single. So get the array target size set as, drag it over, set as 1, so set that as 2, set that as 3, set that as 4, so that's 1 perk, 2 perk, 3 perk, 4 perks. Though we don't want to do the third one, we don't want to do a default. Because then what that allows us to do is that allows us to have one check here rather than duplicating this 4 times, making a massive mess like I did before. So we got this is the size that the array's got to reach. You get a random perk, random integer in the range of the length of the perk array. It will check if it contains it will check if the array contains the number it just did. If it does, it will go and pick another number. And then check again. If it doesn't, it'll get added to the array. which we want to do from this number, because if we do from down here, like they do in the image they're showing, actually, it will pick a different number to what we do as a temporary check. So we set the temporary check, we see if it contains it. If it does, it loops back around. If it doesn't, it will get added. Okay, simple. And then what we do is want to get the length. And we want to check if the length of this is equal to the target size. And if it is, we can do a print for now just called done. If it isn't, it's got to go back into set perk. Like that. Drag that there. Drag that. There, like that. Okay, and that should be it in theory. And then what we will do is we want to return node. And we also want to add in the perk array. Which we'll do as integer array. So random number array. Now I can't remember if local variables clear after every time. Da, 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 da. Just trying to see if local variables will reset. Give me a sec. Okay. Yes, that is that they do work how they do work how I thought they would. So because it's a local variable, it shouldn't. It's only relevant to this function and should reset after the function is done. Is the idea? So what we want to do is we want to get. So we've got 4 random perks. Though it comes in and it's going to spit out a boolean of no perks and an array. The array of the perks. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to perk shop UI. Because now we've got an array of 4 different integers. So rather than doing this, actually, I'm going to do it. I'm going to first change it for the. No, I'm going to do this one first. So we could do that in string 4 random numbers. So rather than doing this, we can get blueprints. Get the player reference and perk random 4 random perks. Do this. Do false. And can get rid of all the stuff here actually. Because we already check it. So get 4 random perks. Plug that in. And we do a branch. If no perks is true, we plug it down there. If it is true, we go over. Rather than doing that, we do a for each loop. And we use this array. And then we just grab this. Now, for each loop would have made it easy, but then I remembered we've got to assign it to different perk buttons. Could always do an array of the perk buttons, I guess. Trying to think. Get the length. Can put all the perk buttons into an array. No. Could always do this. So make an array with all these. Drag that over here. So what we want to do is get a for each loop. We want to get element. Item. Add clear contains item find item. We don't want to do it for each. Don't want to set an array element. Get. See if this works. So this is a position in the array, which will correspond hopefully to this position in this array. And then I'm hoping it's just a case of Update perk. I want perk UI. Update perk shop UI. Not what I wanted to do. Don't know why I thought I'd do what I thought it was gonna. There we go. So we want to do update. So we do want to grab this update perk shop. Get it in the loop body. Tag itself. That's the perk number, and we want to update. Set this to update perk UI. And shove that in there. We'll change the input for this. Button shop object reference. And compile that. Update perk UI for the button shop. Plug that in there, plug that in there. Get rid of that. Compile and save. So that's fine. For now, we're just going to unplug that. So I want to update the perk. Perk button is that. I'm hoping that works. Update perk and then set visibility. To visible. Drag that over there. Just for now, call that old update method. So we're getting the random perks. Based off the index of what that is, we're getting the perk buttons. And then setting them to visible. And updating them and setting them to visible. So we're going to promote this to a variable. We're going to do this earlier on, and we're going to have it as a variable, because it just seems useful to have these all in an array. So event construct, we're going to promote to variable, perk, button, array. Then we're going to have a for each. Going through, linking the button, We're going to link the button. We're then going to get rid of this. Set visibility. To invisible. Now, do we set it to collapsed or invisible? Hidden. That's what we'll do. And there we go. And then once that's done, get rid of that. Plug that in there. So we get the owning player, get the HUD, plug that there, get that plugged up there, get that, plug that over there. Okay. So hopefully what this has done is it's made it a lot more neater. It's a lot smaller, it's a lot more condensed, and also the more important function isn't happening in the UI anymore. So we get the buttons for the shop, we add them to an array, we then do a for each loop. I don't necessarily know if I need to... Yeah, I do need to add it in there, okay. Power that, save that. Drag these up, just make that look a bit better. So we're going to set all of them to hidden by default, and then we're going to reveal them when we need to. Okay. And that sets the visibility of all the buttons. And we've also set the perks of all the buttons. So now we go into the button. So when we, on here... we got size box. Let's get some text in. Why won't you accept additional children? Why? Trying to do it. So we got some. I think that's old stuff. So yeah, we update the perk UI, where we do that, set that, create data table row, perk update, set perk data, and then we also create perk tooltip, which if we browse, is this thing that happens when you hover over it. Now what I want to do is I want to add a extra thing to this. underneath tier called cost. Or above tier, actually. So we're going to add another text. Work it above there. And this will be called cost. It's going to be 0 by default. And you're just going to make sure the size is all about the same. So I set that to about 10. Part of that, save that. Let's rename that to cost. And we just want to do perk name text, perk description, tier, perl, bind, perk data. I don't know how I create a reference to that. Brought it back again, sorry. Alright, hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. Right, so. Perk shop. Perk toolkit. Tip. Perk shop tooltip. Oh, that's why I haven't ticked this. It's a variable. Bam. So now we've got the cost. So we can get the cost. Set to text. Set text, targets text. That. I want to convert the float to text. And there we go. So now we've got a cost. Cool. So we've got perk shop UI. BP. Get that. Don't need the first person character at this moment. And we don't need the game mode. We shouldn't need the perk tooltip anymore either. So in the button, which I've just got rid of, no I haven't. So we set the tooltip to this, and we feed through the data. So that's all good. So what we want to do now is we want to also feed through the cost. So in update perk UI, we also want to set a new variable here for cost. And as a float, compile, save. So we'll get the cost. Now we'll set the cost. Set cost. There we go. First, you're just going to get cost in, and then we'll increase it based on the wave in a sec. Which I think the HUD actually has a reference to the game mode. No, but it's got a ref. So perk button shop, what we can do is get game mode, cast to first, cast to BP, first person game mode, which will probably get changed to something else later. As game mode, we're going to get the wave. Is that in game mode or is that somewhere else? That might be in game state, actually. Current wave. Do we get that from first in game mode? Check enemies to spawn. Set wave timer. Select enemies. Enemies live. A number of enemies. Yada yada yada. Set wave timer. There's one here called next wave. Round ended. Toggle perk selection. Begin next round. So we get game state. It's the game state. We want the game state. Get game state. Current cast to game BP game state. As game state, get wave. So what we want to do is we want to basically get the cost and change it based on the current wave. So, get calculator. If we were to say, so let's say this perk would cost like 250. That's a bit low. Like 1250, right, as default. If we were to times that by 3, that would already, like, for just 3 waves, it would be that. But if we were to times it by 1250 times 1.3, that's a bit more reasonable. And we do. So basically, we want to get the current wave. So let's say. If we were to get the current wave, let's say it's wave 13, and we divide it back by 10, that's now 1.3. So that'd be 1.3 times. And if we added that to 1, that'd be 2.3 times. So if we multiply 1250 by that, it would only be that, which I think's not super bad. Bearing in mind, the shop is like the only thing to spend these points on. So what I'm going to do is I need to convert to float. Subtract. Divide by 10. And add 1. And then we're going to multiply the cost by that. Let's go put a note here so I know what I'm doing. So, changes the cost based on the current wave. Larger costs will change the cost based on current wave. Dividing by 10 and adding 1 will make sure the cost always increases. As it will make round 13 always be higher. For example, e.g. For example, if it's round 14, dividing it by 10 gives a modifier of 1.4 and adding 1 a 2.4 modifier. Exact Exact numbers to change with balance. Balancing. But there we go. That's kind of the idea. So yeah, we get the cost, and we want to increase it as it goes. So we can do that in UI. So on click perk button. Now we don't have to worry about 3 points because 3 points won't exist for this. Because if you go to a shop and you just get 3 points, it's done. So we can change that. And get rid of that one. So when it's clicked, what we want to do is we want to first check get cost. And we want to check if the player has enough points. Which we do have a reference to the player, so we can get the player. Points. We want to check if our points is greater or equal. Because again, we do want to make sure they can purchase it if they have the exact amount. So if it's greater or equal to B. If A is greater or equal than B, then this will be true. That plugs in there. And then we want to subtract the amount of points from the cost. Down there. And then set. Get the character up again. Set points. And there we go. So we're going to get the points, get the cost, take the cost away from the points, set the points, okay, check the tiers, we're going to do perk selected. And yeah, should be good. Hopefully. Right. Get perk selected, perk shop. Now, when I did the original perk shop, you'd pick one perk and then it would go back. Whereas this one, you can buy multiple perks. So what it's going to do, when you buy that one perk, each one's also going to have a stock value, I reckon. Nah. I'm making so you can buy. I'm going to make it so you can buy one. So perk selected, target is perk shop UI. When you, maybe I should make it have a tiers. I got check tiers. So what we'll do is check the tiers, which is this whole massive mess. It finds it, and if it is less than the current tier, for now, I'm gonna make it so that you can't buy multiple of the same perk. But I might make it later so you can. That will change later on in development, maybe. But for now, we're gonna have it so you can buy one perk from each of the selections available, and then you can buy multiple perks from the machine, but you can only buy the shop. You can only buy one perk at a time from that shop of that perk. I'm not explaining it very well. I get what I mean. So it's all good. So when that perk is selected, rather than casting to the game state, doing the ready player thing, we're gonna get rid of that because that's gonna be our exit code basically. Ready player. Oh yeah. I don't know if I have that code even working, but we'll leave it in. BP. I'll double check that near the end. Actually, I'll double check that now. Begin next round. Oh yeah, we do have that. Yeah, so we do still need that to go. But we don't need it for the shop because this isn't. Yeah. So for the shop, we don't need to call that. Get rid of ready player. We want to toggle perk shop, not perk selection. Do that. We also don't need to cast the game state. So perk selected. We've got. I'm gonna add a button and a command to get out of the shop in a sec. But for this, we can just go perk. Update perks. We've got perk selected. Randomize perks. Perk selection. When the perk's selected, it's gonna. We need to basically get that which one that is. And set to hidden. So we're gonna perk button shop. We're gonna add in a new input to this, which will perk button shop. Perk button. Is button spelled with 2 T's? Yeah, I think so. And we go back to perk button shop. I can tell from here. If we go to designer. Yes. Yes, it's spelled with 2 T's. Cool, I remember how to spell button. Great. I'm above first school level grade, guys. I can spell. I promise. So here you get perk button shop. We want to feed through. I guess just a reference to self. Bloop. And then in the perk shop UI, we want to set visibility to hidden. I'm curious if this actually works at all. Okay, it's only shown up 3 perks. It should be shown up 4. It's also not giving any information on the perk. So I've broken a few things. So what we do is we're making an array, we're linking the buttons, we're setting the visibility to hidden by default for all 4. Ah. Yeah. No, what would... Oh, that's why. Because we don't want to... Ah, that's why. Okay, let's try that now. in this one, so I don't. Okay, now we're not resetting the visibility. So that's why one of them wasn't appearing. Now we just got to figure out why it's not resetting the visibility. So when it's completed, it casts does all that, yada 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 yada. Then we go down to random perks. Now when is that called? It's not called, is it? On the shop, event interact. Yeah, we're not calling that. That's why. So go toggle perk shop. We want to toggle the widget. And we want to do. Want to get perk shop, we'll do random perks. Randomize perks. Compile save. Now we've got 4 perks. We've got the costs of them. How much points do I have by default? Do I have any points? I do have points. And we could get knockback. That removes it. I haven't made a way to exit the perk shop at the moment. That's the problem. So go perk shop UI. We'll go event graph designer. I'm just going to add in a button. In the vertical box. It's going to have a bunch of padding on the top. Is that moving everything else up? Oh, it is. Fuck. That should be fun. We're going to have a bit of padding, so... For now, it's just going to go there. It's not going to look great, but... Be on the right. Nope. So for now, it'll just be that. Can I just put it in the canvas panel? I'm just going to put it in the canvas panel. Add a button to the canvas panel. Boom, it's there. We're going to just whack it. Like here, we can, again, this UI is just complete temp. Anchor. Anchor it to like the bottom. Anchor it to like here. We're just gonna get text and whack it on. Just call this exit. On the graph, when we click the button, we just want to exit. That's about it, really. So we want to basically do toggle perk shop when we do that. So just want to get the button. think is that one. Just gonna rename that to exit button. Get the exit button, put that in there, get exit button. Don't need that, I need on clicked. So exit button, on clicked. Got this all down there now. Yep. Plug that in there, compile, save. So now I should have a way to exit the widget. And if I go back in, it's a completely different thing. So I can get multi-shot, exit. So I've spent the points. And now I've got multi-shot. And I can get a bullet split from here. And get bullet split, bullet pierce. Get move and shoot, toxic shot. Oh. So the one... No, I can't. Oh, okay, I just had... Whoa. Yeah, so I can't buy if I haven't got the points. And then I can go and get another one. I think the points, the cost is being a bit weird. So it's 100, get dash, exit. Oh, fuck, I know why. That's why. Because the... Yeah, because I did, I changed the cost, didn't I? So, if I go perk shop. Yeah, so when you update perk UI, I did this all after the fact. And... I need to do it before I need to add it to... Okay, so... let's get this. Controls... Actually, just disconnect this and disconnect this. Grab that. Drag that over here a little bit. So I want to split this. And I want to split this. And plug in all these. Because what I need to do is I need to... Before we cast that, go down here. Get that. I want to get the base cost here. And then we want to plug that in here. Drag that further along. Put that there. That up by one, that up by one. That down, that down, that down. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so that's why it was more expensive than it said it was, so... Yes, now it's shown proper price, 110. Can exit, and now I've got haste. Brilliant. That works. Cool. So that's that. So is there anything else we really need this to do? So we've got it, so... Don't know where that Went so dark then. So we've got it every few rounds. That's done. That's done. The new menu for the shop is done. Perk selected by the shop, not the menu, is perk selected by character now. Player, done. Has random section of perks to buy, done. Perks cost will increase throughout the game, done. We'll have a set amount of each perk, not done, because can only buy one. And stays around for the round. So that stays around for a duration, so that's done. Now, the one thing I need to do as well is I will need to test that, so I'm actually going to go to my Trello on my monitor and actually add that as a proper to-do. So, test perk shop works correctly. Make sure it can't. So I need to add. And one thing I need to do as well is I need to add basically something to happen when we haven't got any perks. So we've got no perks. I'm going to add in a checklist called to do. So check, add something for when there's no perks. Left, change, add something when there's no perks left, change interaction, tooltip, I gotta set, make sure all the perks appear, and that's the shop. I gotta make sure all the perks appear and that it doesn't. Knows when there are less than 4 perks. Update the code for random perk selection to match the way it's handled in the perk shop. Add in option to buy multiple perks. Multiple of the same perk from the shop. Okay. And I'm going to drag that into Test Workshop correctly. Put that there. Cool. So I've got 2 things that are on my active to-do list. So I want to get. I need to update the random perk UI to basically handle it the same way this does, because this is a lot better and neater. This makes so much more sense and is a lot better. It makes a lot more sense for the player to handle all the random perk stuff rather than the UI. So yeah. And even then, this code is a lot simpler. This is a lot simpler to look at than it is in the original, which is still here in the. There we go. First person, player, character, skill system, content, UI. So go perk window random. You go to this graph. It's just like it's an absolute mess. It's like, oh, that's not so far. Then you go here. Look how long that is. And this does the same thing as this. Optimization. Because what I was doing before is I had 4 different... I didn't think to use an array for this. So I was there like, oh, we're going to get the perk length, and then we're going to go to this, and we're going to go like... When I could have just done... I mean, I don't even know if I need to do the switch on int, really. Actually, I don't think I do. Hang on. So get the perk length. Which is how many perks you've got left. And if it's 0, it goes up to 1. There's 2... Yeah, actually, we probably could just... I don't actually know if I need to do that, per se. Do need to plug that in. Okay. Because I know why we decrement it. I could always just, rather than setting this target and having a switch on int, I think what I should just do instead is get the perk length. And then incrementing it. No, actually, perk length plus 1, so we don't increment it. Add. Because I want to set it. I just do that. And that, in theory, should do the same thing. As that does. I'm going to set a comment. Oop. Comment on that. Let's drag that down there. Drag that down there. Comment this. Just call this old system for checking how many perks are left. Because yeah, do like if 0 it's 1, if it's 1 it's 2, if it's 3, if it's 2 it's 3, and if it's anything else it's there. Ah, nah, hang on a minute. Yeah, no, the problem with that is because then it's got to be right. Hang on, if we just go drag that out. Drag that out. Do branch. So if it's perklet, that's good. We just do it the old way. I'm trying to make it a bit too optimized, I think. That works fine. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Cool. It's still a hell of a lot better than it was before. So yeah, that's all great. Perk selection. So yeah, I think I've got everything I need to do next time. We're nearly done with the perk system. We're nearly there. Just gotta finish it. Woo! Man, it sucks. The perk system doesn't suck. It's just kind of like it's literally been all I've been working on for the last 10 streams. I think it's been like 10 streams now. Jesus. Been doing this for about a month now, I guess. Yeah, it'll be about a month, yeah. So yeah. First month streaming. Woo! But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Hope to see you all again next week. I'm hoping to be on a bit earlier next week, to be honest. And I think next week's one, the stream might be able to go on a bit longer. I had to go somewhere yesterday, so I had to get ready for it. But I might, on next Saturday, the stream will hopefully go on a little bit longer if I haven't got anything planned. But yeah, we made some pretty good progress today. Getting that perk shopping working, and also figuring out a much better way of doing random perks for the UI, so we can improve our code for the. We can improve this goddamn mess. But yeah, that's what this is all about. It's all about learning more, making progress. Even if it feels like sideways progress at some points, as long as we're making progress, the game will come out eventually. That's the idea. And again, these streams have really helped me like actually make a good amount of progress on the game. But yeah, that's enough for now. I've got to go, so I will see you all next time. Goodbye.